Hi everyone, how are you all doing? My awesome friends, happy Tuesday. It's so funny. Oh, hi. I have friends in the chat. I was literally thinking it would just be me. I'm like, my friends are probably on other lives. I'm assuming Baron may have a live right now, or Duchess of Success may have a live right now. My schedule is a little bit crazy, so this is the only time I can do it today. And I was like, well, I just got to do it, and people will get to it later after the other live. So I'm kind of surprised. I was literally going to be singing all by myself. You know that song, the wannabe. I was literally planning to sing that song too. So y'all threw off my song. So there. Welcome, my awesome friends. Hello. Lady Bird is here. Hello, Lady Bird. And our awesome moderator, Karen M, is here. Hello, Karen M. And Andrea and Brenda and R. Carter. Well, blessings to you there, R. Carter. And Dale and Emma Day. Hi, guys. And Michelle and Auntie Jay and Kenita. Oh, my goodness. Hi, guys. And 75 of our other favorite people who are not in the chat at the moment. But welcome, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I literally did not think anyone would be here. I'm like, y'all will get it after when you come from the other lives. But I'm so happy you're here. I don't have receipts again today. My computer, oh my gosh, I think I completely messed up. I finally, because over the weekend, my battery had died and I can only use my laptop if I'm plugged in. So I got new batteries. They said, you can take it somewhere. It costs you like $40 for someone to put it in, like a professional person put it in. Or you can do it yourself, whatever. So I was like, well, you learn how to do things yourself. And I was like, okay, I'll just do it myself. So I tried to get all the screws out and everything came out other than one. One of them would not come out. So I finally took it. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Best Buy, which is where I got my computer. Go to Best Buy, have them to help me get that one screw out. And I'm just going to change it. So I did it yesterday. They just helped me get the screw out. And it was so nice. And change the battery and everything. I all excited, came home like, yes, I can actually use my computer outside and I don't have to plug in the power. The keys don't work. And I was like, oh my gosh, my keyboard does not work. Everything else works. The power comes on, the pad, the touchpad works. The keyboard isn't working. And I was like, oh, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to the keyboard. So I undid it, reinstalled it. I did it like 3 times and it still is not working. So what should have been a $40 job just to replace the battery will probably now cost me 100 and something for someone to come and figure out why my keypad isn't working. I am sitting here like, what? All I wanted to do was change my battery. So I am like, until I change it, probably tomorrow or Thursday, maybe Thursday, I'm only on my pad and I don't have receipts because when you're using your mobile devices, StreamYard, which is the platform I use to stream, doesn't allow you to bring in any photos or anything like that. So it's just me and you. We'll just be talking. I am like, I cannot believe. I'm like, all I needed was to change the battery. And I somehow messed up my computer and my keypad isn't working. And I'm like, I don't know. It's and it's so stuff like that make you realize how much you rely on something. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? But thank God I have a pad, I have a phone, so I can use that. It's I don't have all the functions that I need from that I have on a laptop, but at least I have some. So I guess I'm gonna be grateful for what I have. So, anyways, I am here. Hello. Oh, Auntie Jane, thank you. I'm so happy you're here. It's like you would never be alone, Paddle. We'll always be here with you. Oh, that makes me feel so good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you guys. What is happening? How are you guys doing? What's going on? So we're just gonna chat. And I hope you guys, I posted a really cool article from J.R. Moringer, who is the ghostwriter for Prince Harry's book Spare, and he is such a fantastic writer. So I posted it in his article. He wrote an article about Spare and about the process of working with Prince Harry and all the ups and downs and in betweens of working with Prince Harry in the book. So I hope you guys all had a chance to read it. It's definitely was trending on Twitter. Everybody loves that article, and of course the nutcases on Shutter Island are twisting his words. It's literally exactly what he said in the article. They're literally doing it. And I love that. I love that he went after them in the article. And it's just like, yep, that is Prince Harry's other brother. At least in the way he thinks of the British press. So, I just want to know if you guys got a chance to read it, what you thought of it. There are other great articles that are. It's so funny. I love how the American press is not buying into the whole ConAnation bit at all. There's some really blunt articles about it. I know. Let's see. Rolling Stones wrote a very shady, very shady article about the ConAnation concert. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the ConAnation concert at all. I have not seen any of it. I saw clips on Twitter, but beyond that, I have not seen anything. So yes, I'd love to know what you thought of it. What else is happening? Prince Harry's court case started today, which is the court case against the Mirror Group, which is where Piers Morgan was. And obviously, Piers Morgan was there, hacking and blagging were there. And so Harry and I think 4 other defendants or plaintiffs are suing the the Mirror News Group for phone hacking and all of the other ways that they illegally got stories for their articles. So that case started today. Harry is obviously back in California. I thought maybe he would have stayed until that. He didn't. So he is expected back in the UK next month. We don't know what date yet. I think they'll go through it and see closer to the time. They will say when he will be back, but he is going to be taking the witness stand. So that would be the first time a royal will be on the witness stand. I think one other royal had done that before. I think Princess Anne, when something happened with her or something or the other, I think with a dog or a car or something. I think she's took the witness stand, if I'm not mistaken. But I know she was in court, and I'm what I'm understanding in this kind of setting is first time a royal would be. So Prince Harry is all juiced up to go and sit and testify against what the Mirror did to him, his mother, and all of that. So that hit, at least it started today, but he should be back in the UK, Lord willing, next month. So that will be the next time we will be seeing Prince Harry over there. And the British press, I'm sure they are jonesed for that. It'd be like, we're not going to see Harry here for any other occasion, pertaining to the family celebration or anything like that. But definitely, Harry would be there for that court case, Lord willing. Let's see. R.R. Carter says, read it and it's very good. He knows more about Harry than 11-15 minutes she claims she had with him. He didn't stay in the guest house. She didn't stay in the guest house. That's for sure. That's right. And if if you've read the article from J.R. Moringer in the New Yorker magazine, please don't read any of those tabloid take on the article, whether it's American or not. But the article itself and J.R. Moringer's writing is so good. I mean, the guy, no wonder people use him as their ghostwriter. He is good. His articles are so interesting. The parts of which you just kind of burst out laughing, and the other part makes you like, but yeah, it is good. And yes, Angela Levin, who writes as if she, is a part of Harry's family or something, And just like she knows nothing about him, and just when you read J.R. Martin, just what he wrote about Harry and the process, they, their process of working together, you see how much they've become friends. They're like brothers. They're like sparring partners. Harry even, in the acknowledgement in Spare, he even referred to J.R. Moringer as part of his description. It says his sparring partner. So they definitely, as J.R. Moringer, right, they definitely butted heads a few times, and and what they wanted to keep in the book, what they didn't want to keep in the book. And so actually the whole article start with J.R. Moringer being very frustrated and exasperated at 2 a.m. with Harry, in them going back on their edits, and what they should include and what they shouldn't, and what he wanted and what Harry wanted, and he was yelling at Harry and Harry was yelling back at him, and it was just it's like, yep, that's kind of, that's the creative process for you. Very normal creative process. Two very creative, very strong-headed people trying to come together to write one book. And so it was just like, yeah, that's definitely that definitely checks. So so thank you. Yes, or Carl, thank you. Taiwo, new member of the Two Cents crew. Welcome, Taiwo. I'm so happy that you are part of the crew. Thank you so much for your support. I absolutely appreciate your support. So thank you, and all of you who are members of the Two Cents crew. Thank you so much. Um, let's see who else is chatting about what. Alma thinks it was very interesting. Yes, it was very. It was and is very interesting. So tell me, Alma, what do you find interesting about it? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear what you find interesting about the article. Karen M says the Daily Express poll: Harry is now up to 64% as the favorite royal during the Coronation weekend. Yes, I saw someone posted a screenshot of this poll, because the Express is there forever. I mean, it seems like every day they have another poll. I see polls, screenshot of polls all the time from the Express. And so yes, they are doing this poll of the favorite royal at the Coronation. And Harry, Prince Harry is 64% the favorite, and everybody else is down in the single and double digit, low double digits. And it's so hilarious, because it's like, okay, so are they gonna be posting that, and on their news site, on their news, front page of their news articles, as they do whenever they want to trash Harry and Meghan? Are they really going to be publicizing that? So yes, thank you for all the people who are trolling the Express at the moment. I love it. I absolutely love it. Chef Sandy Love, new member. Wait, Chef Sandy Love, are you coming back as a member? For some reason, I thought you were before. But if I'm mistaken, welcome. Thank you so much for your support. I just appreciate it so much. I'm just happy that you guys are part of our community. Thank you. And Andrea Ellen, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate so much your support. Thank you. This will help me towards my my laptop. I can't believe I did that to my laptop. Oh gosh. I'm still literally hoping a magic happens, that when I have not had the guts and the heart to open this laptop today, because I'm like, maybe when I open it, a magic will happen and then my keyboard will start working. Please pray for a miracle. Kim Peaches says, "Whoa, 64% of Harry goes a long way. The power of Ginger Man still makes an impression on the royal family. They need Harry and Meghan no matter what they say or do. They do. I mean, it just like, imagine they conned this nation out of £250 million to put on a coronation again. Nobody asked for this coronation. And look, people showed up. Like I said, in a few episodes back, I talked about how the British press, they love to put out this like, oh, nobody's interested in, people are not interested. Only a few people are going to be there. People, they're going elsewhere. And my thing has always been, look, the British people have been groomed their entire life to really come out and support these kinds of events. It's a nation that love pomp and pageantry. It's been groomed into them their entire life. So always expect a large crowd. And I was absolutely correct. I mean, there are photos, from the back of King Charles and Camilla, and you see the massive amount of people in front of them at Buckingham Palace, all down, I don't know what you call that street it's in front. I've never been there, so I couldn't speak. Or maybe our London squaddies can tell me what that street is right in front of there. But I expected a big crowd. I expected them to come out and show, because they've been groomed their whole life to believe this is what you do, and so that's what I expected, and that's exactly what happened. So they came out and they did that. But again, 250 million pounds for a coronation that if you were trying to impress the rest of the world, it just wasn't impressive. I mean, there was pomp, there was pageantry and all of that stuff, but from what I've been reading, especially from the US press, they weren't all that excited about it. And and a lot of what I've seen is that people just weren't into the costumes and the ceremony. Well, I guess people expected a joyous ceremony, and it was kind of dull. And so I'm like, okay, again, 250 million pounds. And then today, a couple of days later, all people are talking about is Prince Harry and his Dior suit. Even though yesterday it was mostly about Prince Harry and his Dior suit and that he left. And so it's like, was it worth 250 million pounds? Was all of that stuff worth 250 million pounds? And then you saw, what is supposed to be the royals, the new, I don't know what you call them. I mean, there was the Magnificent Seven and all of that stuff, and now there's like about 10 or 11 of them. It's like, other than William and Kate, everybody is over 50 and the majority over 70. And so I don't know what they mean by modernizing. I don't understand. Maybe the British have a different concept of what that means. I don't. I was like, wait, you're supposed to be, modernizing, and everyone here. And look, I love elderly people. I was raised by my grandmother. Nothing, I obviously have nothing against elderly people. I consider myself elderly myself most days. But it's just we have to admit the younger generation are not into the royals. And if you're going to capture their imagination, and if you're going to be a monarchy that plan to stick around for a while, one would assume you'd have people that the younger generation could relate to. Kate and William are not that. Yes, they're royalists, they're younger royalists that, are all about Kate and William, but the majority of them are very apathetic to them because they don't really do anything that captures their imagination. And so you can get away with being pretty and cute and smiley for like a minute when it comes to teenagers, and you've been around teenagers, you can capture their imagination for like a minute, and then after that you better produce something or they will go elsewhere. And so William Kate don't have that. The rest of them are elder, like over 70. There's so much they could do. There are so much they could do. I mean, there's one picture of when I guess they posed for a picture somewhere in Buckingham Palace. And I think that's the palace. I mean, is it Buckingham? Was it Buckingham? Either Buckingham Palace or Windsor Castle, somewhere, wherever it is they posed for this picture. I didn't pay attention to where it was. There was one elderly person between the Wessexes that they were literally looked like they were holding her up. And someone asked, like, when is the last time she did an engagement? I don't know what her name is, but it's an elderly person. And they literally, in the picture, if you see the official picture that they put out, they literally look like they're holding her up. And so you can't expect to have somebody that elderly and the others look, Other than the Wessexes and the Cambridges, the others are all over 70. And so you can't really expect them to be out there, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed doing stuff. The majority of the work is going to land on two of the laziest people they have, William and Kate. At least Sophie Wessex does stuff. She goes out and do her stuff. I see her doing stuff. Now, don't ask me what her husband does. Whatever. It doesn't look all that interesting, the little bit I've ever seen of him doing stuff. But William and Kate are like the two of the laziest people. You couldn't, I don't know how you put your monarchy on those two because you're not going to get anywhere. And so I'm like, okay, if this is what think you're going to capture the imagination of the youth with, good luck with that. Seriously, good luck with that. Let's see. Sylvia says, Fiddle, I read an article a while back that stated that the royal family used pomp and circumstance to do their reset on anything that is wrong. To me, it feels a good parade to the subjects in that country. That's all it is to me. I mean, I don't know what the reset is for this. I mean, it doesn't seem, it seems like the same old thing. It's just, a couple of days of dressed up in Halloween costumes and then back to just doing their, not very interesting stuff that they do. So maybe we have different expectations. And for me, at 250, I can't get a bias to 250 to 275 million pounds. You would expect more. You would expect more. So very interesting. Marianne Morris says it was a really weird ceremony. Still trying to figure out why the Brits want to be looked down on by the royal family as they stand caught on the infamous balcony with our ginger was banished from. Strange. That is a very good question, Marianne. I've asked that question myself. Because everyone, they seem to celebrate the fact that their royal family are on this balcony, the most boring looking balcony I've ever seen in my entire life. But the Brits are very interested in that, and they fight over who should be on this balcony. And it's an interesting question. Why would you be excited to be, at the bottom or on the other, being looked down on from these people on the balcony where they literally and figuratively look down on you? Why are you excited about this balcony? Exactly. And another thing about that balcony, didn't they say, I mean, okay, maybe I heard wrong. Didn't they say it was for working royals? Now, there were quite a few people on that balcony that I'm like, are they working? Granted, I don't know who all those people are, other than the regular ones from the Windsor side. The other people on the other side, I mean, who are they? There were like, I think, two ladies in the back. I'm like, are those Camilla's relatives? Are they working royals? Like, just looking at them, I'm like, who are those people? And so maybe they are, and I just don't know who they are. But it's very, very interesting. I'm like, and the funny thing about this is this actress was on a show, and she pointed out how strange it was that you came from a service where they claim diversity, and some of the Black Brits were all like celebrating the diversity, and then she pointed out to the fact that you came from that supposed diversity to go and see a balcony that's all white. And, and apparently she is sort of backtracking because she got a lot of hate for it. But I'm not sure why you would be backtracking, because that is a fact. The balcony is all white people. It's so why I mean that is what they wanted, right? That's why they kicked the Harry and Meghan out. That's why they wanted. It's what they wanted. It's what they fought for. And they fought for the claim that, at least is what I thought. They said it was only working royals. But again, there were people on that balcony that I don't know that they're working royals. I've never seen them before, And just because I've never seen them before doesn't mean they're not. But I don't think they're part of the core working people on that balcony. And so my question is, what happened to this claim of only working people who are working for the monarchy are on the balcony. And so very interesting, you know. And so that whole thing, I'm like, was it just the purge, the black one? You know, and now nobody is bringing up the fact that there are people on that balcony that I don't think they were working. So very, very interesting. um Sylvia says, Pedal, you're right. Not sure which part I was right about. The talk has been about Harry, yeah, and spotting Meghan hiking. Ah, yes. Apparently, Meghan is hiking with a couple of her friends. I'm not, I don't usually post tabloid or paparazzi photos, but there are those photos and articles running around on Twitter. I saw it. And, royal reporters are having a conniption about the fact that Meghan is wearing a rich woman's watch. I'm like, and one of them assumed it was Princess Diana's watch, and how dare she, right, wear a expensive watch while she is going out, hiking. Never mind, Kate Middleton wears expensive ring when she's supposedly digging dirt, and one of her I'm wearing heels, but I'm, pretending I'm planting a tree kind of thing, or wearing a ring. I think she was diving or something, and with her ring on, and nobody said a word about that. But no, Meghan can't wear a rich woman's watch. In fact, even the fact that she's a rich woman, you know, never mind the fact that Meghan already had that kind of watch before she met Harry back in 2015. I think there was an article about why she purchased that watch, because she wanted to hand it down to her daughter, you know. And so they just assumed, because they saw that watch and Princess Diana had a similar watch, that it's Princess Diana's watch. And so their panties are all in a twist, because Meghan with some black blood in her and not supposed to have an expensive watch in her hand while she goes hiking. I'm telling you, the way and these people would swear to you up and down it has nothing to do with race. And they will just swear to you up and down. But white people could do it and nobody cares. White King Charles gonna inherit 600 and something million pounds from his mother with no having to pay no taxes, and nobody bats an eye. But God forbid Harry and Meghan have a deal with Dior and are making millions. God forbid they have a deal with Spotify and and Netflix and making millions. It's an issue. Why? Because there's a black person involved there, and black people are not supposed to have money. They're all up in your pocket. And again, these people will swear to you, no. It's nothing to do with race. It's her behavior. And it's like, and that's another thing with the British and this behavior thing. It's like you're talking about Harry and Meghan like they're 2-year-olds, so we have to watch their behavior. And it's like, these are grown people you're talking about. What are you talking about? Oh, they were under best behavior. Like if you're talking about 2-year-olds in a classroom. I don't know what it is with this country and just this always having to punish people because of their behavior. It's just the weirdest. I gotta say, England, you are odd. Yes, it's a weird country. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. So, anyways, let's move on. Let's see who else is chatting stuff. Let's see. Marianne says, why would anyone want to be a subject of another human being in 2023? Ask the royalists. I don't know, but it seems some of them are more than happy to do it. Some of them are, happy to pledge their allegiance to the king who will live forever and ever. I still can't get over that. That is literally in that pledge. The king who will live forever and ever. I'm like, are you people crazy? You have to be completely crazy to have something like that and then have a supposed man of God be a part of that. Justin Welby, I'm telling you, you are a disgrace. You're an utter disgrace. It's just, I can't even. Let's see. Guerda, hey Guerda Safrain says they will have another coronation in a few years. I would assume that coronation in a few years would be a little bit different if that happens. That will be, but you know, the royals are usually they live very long. So I think Prince William is gonna have to wait a while. He's like, if he's, you know, he is planning, I'm sure he is, you know, making his plans to be the king, even though he's accomplished just about nothing. He's planning to be king, but I think he's gonna have to wait a while because, you know, again, the royals live a long time. If you judging from the queen and the queen, hi, I'm not oh. Yeah, I'm not the camera is not on, so you're good. Sorry. Beautiful little one just came home and she's like ducking under because she thought that my camera was on. but but anyways, yeah, so I now I forgot what I was saying, so anyway, moving on. Oh yes, Prince William, I don't think he's gonna be king anytime soon, so but you know, again, we don't know, you know, who knows how many days we have here, so we don't know. But again, judging from Queen Betty and her mother and stuff, they live very long lives, so Prince William, you better start going out there and accomplishing a few things. I think the thing with Prince Charles, even though there are so many things you can you know, at him for, because I mean the man is just corrupt in all forms, but at least he was out there accomplishing things. You know, he didn't just sit around waiting to be king. He went out there and did things. Yes, he did some corrupt stuff, but he at least tried to accomplish things. He at least tried to build things. He at least was an art, and he was an artist. He was into architecture. I mean, which got him into trouble a few times with other architectures. But you know what I mean? With other architects and stuff. But he was out there creating things and getting, you know, yes, there was a lot of, you know, shady stuff with Dumfries House, but he was doing stuff. He created the Prince's Trust and all of those things. So you know, so he wasn't just waiting to just be king, even though I'm sure part of it was, you know, gosh, can you just, you know, surrender the crown to me already? I'm sure he's probably thinking to his mother. But Prince William literally looks like he's just out there waiting to, you know, accomplishing nothing and just waiting there for the crown to be on his head. And it's like, dude, how about just go try to accomplish, look at your little brother and try to go accomplish something, you know, unbelievable. Let's see. Dolores says, saw the picture. Sophie Edward were holding up that woman. How many were under 50 years old in that picture? Exactly. The only people there that was under 50 was, and I don't know, they're probably 50 something. I don't know. Edward and Sophie, I think they're 50 something, I think. But the only ones under that was Kate and William. Everybody else was over 70. And so it again, you know, you can't just be asking a 70-year-old to go off and be, you know, bushy tailed running from here to there. You know, we already know Camilla is not she is like, you know, she is not feeling it. She now has the crown, and you know, it just will she up her engagements? I don't think so. Camilla does the least amount of things, and I guess she's just enjoying her life. And it's very interesting with her relationship with Prince Charles because the majority of the time it doesn't even seem that they live together because she is at her house in Raymill, I think it's called Raymill, her house, and he is at his house in High Grove. And so they kind of live separately because I mean King Charles could be a pill. And so I can imagine, you know, not wanting to be around him all the time. And so she has her space where she can go off and do her thing, and he has his space, and they kind of come together, you know, to do stuff and then meet up at Clarence's house or something. But they don't quite live together, and so it just is very interesting. And her relationship with her ex-husband is very interesting as well. Apparently, they're the best of friends, and it just I don't know. My guess is Camilla has a lot of stuff on Charles, and they don't necessarily have the sort of romance that the British press like to lie about. and he feels like he owes her a crown because of what she has, put up with him, and know about him and stuff. And so I don't buy into the fact that they have this the British press just lies so much about these relationships. And so yeah, it's very weird between those two. But anyways, it's weird between William and Kate as well. So it's just, I don't know. Let's see who else. Let's see. Jerry Sissy says, don't tell that to Camilla. Her article reads that Kate is ready and fit to Brie. I don't know what Brie is, but I'm assuming she's ready and fit for the title. They've been saying that about Kate forever. I mean, until Kate start accomplishing something and be able to read two sentences without reading it from a cue card, including William, neither of them are ready to do anything. You can only take that nonsense for so far. I mean, when when you're starting to have to, but again, they've groomed the British press so much that they probably don't even care. They for them, it's like, as long as Kate looks beautiful and in whatever she's wearing, they are fine with it. They don't mind that they haven't really accomplished anything. They're just like, she looks beautiful, so therefore she's ready to be queen, and that's what they want. It seems unbelievable. Mediocrity is what they have. Again, Queen Betty never said a word. Nobody knew what she thought about anything. So, and they revered her. So there you go. Let's see, Terry. Terry H. Hello, Terry says they need to let that old woman rest in peace. She already passed for shelf life. I'm assuming the elderly lady that the way no the Wessexes were holding up. She literally looks like they're like, okay, grandma, let's just hold your arms up. And again, I'm all about older people. I love them. I was raised with one. So but it was just like she definitely, in terms of royals, I mean, not that they do much of anything. Maybe she can still go off and cut a ribbon here and lift a little plaque thing here or whatever, but there's not much you can ask this poor lady to do. She's already definitely past that shelf life in terms of engagement stuff for to go out there. So I don't know why they would think this would be okay. Why a younger audience looking at this? I mean, even their own reporters can't sell this. And these are royalists. They can't sell that nonsense. It's unbelievable to me that they would think that would be okay. But they do. So. Let's see. Beverly Isidore. Hey, Beverly. Beverly says a reporter asked Princess Anne when she was going to retire, and Anne responded that she have no plans to retire. I conclude that Anne will retire like her mother on her deathbed. I think so too. I think Princess Anne, she is, even though she's 70 something, she is bright and sprightly, and so she, why retire if you don't have to? She seemed to love what she does. Don't ask me what it is she does or what impact, whatever it is she does. I'm yet to see it, but she loves the work. She loves doing it. She loves supporting with the monarch. And so, look, if she can do it and she loves doing it, why should she leave? So there you go. So she is all fine doing her stuff. Coco Ambrose. Hello, Coco. Coco says, old lady is Princess Alexandra of Kent. She's Queen Elizabeth II's cousin on her father and also Prince Philip's cousin. Oh, that's right. On her mother's side, in the inbreeding. The Kents are also related to Prince Philip on their mother's side. Oh, I'm telling you, the royal family is a perfect excuse of why you don't marry your cousin. Don't marry your cousin. It never turns out well. I mean, they're lucky they didn't end up with 6 fingers on a hand, which is what they used to tell us back home. Don't marry your cousin. You're going to end up with 6 fingers. But it's just like, ew, I just remember that the Queen and Prince Philip were cousins. Oh God. I think they have the same great grandmother, I think. Ew. I'm telling you, no wonder there's so much dysfunction in this family. I mean, we all have dysfunction in our family, but goodness grievances, this one is a mess. So don't marry your cousin. Um, Cheryl IW says, oh, she's talking to Marianne Morris. The people of England have been bred for hundreds of years into the class system. The royals are basically the identity of the royals are basically the identity of the British people. Well, the royals are really German, so I don't know that. No, I mean they definitely adopted a lot of the British ways and then changed their name from Saxe-Coburg-Gotha to Windsor, but their ancestors are German. I mean, to the point where they still celebrate Christmas. They celebrate German Christmas. They don't do it the regular British way. They do it the German way. They still hold on to their German traditions. So yeah, again, I saw this tweet was so offensive yesterday with this guy talking about Meghan, the reason why Meghan isn't, or the reason why she had to leave the UK is because she was, and I kid you not, she is a divorcee, and that she doesn't know the she's a foreigner and she doesn't know the British way. Literally, those are the things those are the things this guy tweeted, and he's like a MBE or something like that from the UK, and it was very interesting because, like, of course, he got, people went after him on Twitter for that kind of stupidity. It was like Meghan couldn't fit in because she's a divorcee when every single one of the Queen's children are divorced, including the King and the Queen, who we just pledged allegiance to. I mean, and that she's a foreigner, and it's like your king's family is from, they're Germans, and Prince Philip's family is a Greek. They're not British. And it's just, I mean, when racist people trying to find every other thing than to acknowledge the fact that no, it's her race. It's just like, you people are crazy. And it's like, what is exactly the British way? What exactly is the British way? I mean, if you're looking back at their history, colonization, is that what it's supposed to be? If you're thinking in terms of the royal family, their way, I mean, really? You really want anyone to follow the royal family standards of things? Really? It's just unbelievable. Mrs. S, hello, Mrs. S. Mrs. S says Harry was not banished from the balcony. He did not want to be there because of threats to his family. He said that previously, I mean, again, this balcony thing, I don't know why people are so obsessed with this balcony. But I mean, if you're going to be thinking of the balcony, why banish Harry when, and claim that it was like going to be for working royals when there are people on that balcony that don't work for the royal family, they don't work for the monarchy, so what is the real reason? So yes, of course they'll try to find any other thing but the fact that we want a white balcony. That's the thing. You want white. That's the thing. And you don't want to say you want white because you know what it sounds like. And so they'll find every other reason to not have, and then when people point it out, it's like, you're being racist towards this white family. It's craziness. Khadijah, hello, Khadijah Jacobs. How are you? Khadijah says William is going to be lost as a king, and by the time George is old enough to be king, it should no longer exist. Well, if there is any justice, I would say it should be lost by the time William even thinks about that crown. But if they don't change this drastically, people are no longer, at least it's building to a majority where people are no longer tolerating it. The fact that we are on Tuesday and people are, there people who normally support the monarchy are finding things to be critical about, especially the fact that there's a cost of living crisis going on and they spent all that money on this coronation. People aren't so willing, that deference that they had for the Queen is not there, and people are willing to challenge it, so And now the Metropolitan Police are having to backtrack and apologize for, arresting people at the Coronation, the parade, when those Republic group went. The leader was thrown in jail, and along with others. Now the police department are having to apologize, and people are supporting that again, royalists, supporting the Republic guys, because it's like they were not doing anything that was dangerous. They were literally there to do their protest with their signs. That was it, and they were arrested. And the police lied, and they're trying to backtrack. And now everybody is calling out the police and calling them flat out liars, including the reporters that were there and reporting facts. And the police are lying, and oh no, we had credible report that such and such, and people are like, you are lying. So people aren't buying that anymore. They're not, the deference that they had is not there anymore. So it's good to see. And I think by the time William, it will be even less, because at least King Charles has accomplished some things. He has some goodwill in that, the Prince's Trust has done some good, and some of his other charities, yes, they are cons. Yes, they have shady stuff happening. Yes, they had those cash for access stuff. But on the other hand, on some parts of it was good. They benefited some people. So he has accrued some goodwill. William hasn't accomplished anything. So there's going to be even less goodwill for William. So, you can't get by on the tabloid, propping you up every minute. And even they can't do, even sometimes you're like, okay, where is William? Why is he not working? So let's see. Edith says maybe they have 6 toes nobody can see because it's covered. I think you're so right, Edith. Maybe they do have 6 toes. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like the Caribbean, they're like, don't marry your cousin because you're going to have 6 fingers. So Edith is saying maybe they have 6 toes, and that's a point. You never know. We can't ever see it. Let's see. CMEX says they are related on both sides. Victoria and the Danish third on Victoria, and second once removed on the Danish side. I'm not sure I understand this so well, but they are, oh gosh, this is just incestuous. Ew. I need to wash out my eyes with soap and water after this. Karen Werner is here. Hello, Karen. Karen says now they have reached the pinnacle of what they scheme for. What they scheme for. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me read that again. Now they have reached the pinnacle of what they scheme for. People were abused. A woman died. Now what? So true. So very true. Because now it's like you have the crowd, now you're there, now what? You've conned people out of 250 million pounds, now what? There's still a cost of living crisis. People are still dying. The NHS is still a mess. People still can't pay their bills. They can't pay for their electricity. People were freezing to death. People can't feed their families. Now what? And as Harry said in an interview, if 10% of the spotlight that is put on him and Meghan were put on the monarchy, things would be very, very different. And that's what needs to happen. The spotlight needs to stay on the monarchy so people see, in truth, what they're doing. And I hope that, at least it's good to see that I saw some American outlets who were writing about it. But it's like not in, again, we got our own issues here in the US. We don't have time to be paying attention to the monarchy. But, I just think, the so-called legit papers need to, just like how the Guardian would shone a huge spotlight on them just leading up to the coronation, that spotlight needs to stay there. And more news outlets need to keep that spotlight there so that people are not, fooled. I mean, some people like to be fooled. They like the lies. You know, you can't help that, but but Karen is so right. Now what? You've done all of this stuff. Now what? So we'll see. Um, Whitland Harper says, I wonder how many preschool engagements Camilla will do. Holding up a toddler's arm by the sleeves. Yeah, we haven't forgotten that. Disgusting behavior. It remains to be seen how many she will do. I mean, and again, they will pick those because they're little kids, so there's not much. They're cute little kids, so whatever they do will be brushed aside. Other than when she picked up that little child's sleeve by to her arms by her sleeves, and then it was a big furor. But it's like they go to a captive audience because they're little kids, and people focus on the little kids and not what they're doing. So, and it's all just cute. Karen, back to you. Karen says, "Is there a British way? What is it? Do explain." British squatties in here. Is there a British way? Let us know. Let us know if there's a British way that we haven't known or something that somehow Megan missed. It's unbelievable. Dolores says Harry wasn't banished. He was at the airport. Hello. And it's so funny. Did you guys see this thing with the Telegraph today writing an article about Prince Harry supposedly stopping off at Buckingham Palace for, they said, less than 45 minutes and before heading to the airport, which is like, there only was a bit of a problem with that big lie from the Telegraph is that, unlucky for you, Daily Mail are stalkers. And the Daily Mail stalked Harry from the time he left the church until the airport. And they had a timeline of him. 1:15, he was at he left the church. And he was at the airport like 1:50 or something like that. So how did Harry end up, leave the church at 1:15, end up at the airport at 1:50, but somehow spent at least 45 minutes at the palace? And it's just like, you're lying. You are lying, Telegraph. And it's just as how, and again, unlucky for them, the Daily Mail are stalkers. So they stalked them and they got the timeline. And the Telegraph, I guess, didn't realize that the Daily Mail was stalking Harry and got that timeline because their notion that somehow Harry went to the and this is the thing they want to put in there, like somehow Harry went to the palace because he wanted to speak with William and Charles, but then they rejected him, or they didn't want anything to do with him, or that's the narrative they want. But unlucky for them, their fellow tabloid trash articles, they were stalking Harry and got the timeline. So there's no way that Harry could have spent 45 minutes, or at least they said just under 45 minutes at Buckingham Palace, and still ended up like at least 45 minutes, within 45 minutes get to the airport. I mean, it's stupid. So even the Daily Mail was questioning like, how did that happen again? So it's funny to watch them fact check each other. Let them do that. Unbelievable. Let's see. Jody Stacey says, a royal expert and an American Anglophile, been a writer for the royal family for decades. Sally Vidal Smith, yes, I've read a couple of her books, confirmed the royal family are of German descent. Statistics show King Charles has traveled to Germany 40 times, more than all the royal family. Yeah, again, the Saxe-Coburg-Gothas, they have relatives there. So when they were in Germany the other day, my thing was that was just a homecoming. So when you see that whole crowd there, I couldn't say anything. I couldn't, you can't begrudge someone going home and their people are happy to see them. I mean, they're German, So yeah, they are German. And Charles, I mean, he spoke fluent. I think he did a speech and he was speaking fluent German. I mean, he was reading the speech, but apparently, and he got like I think it was a standing ovation or whatever. So he had a great time and they had a great time with him in Germany. So for me, that was just going home. So yeah, they are German. They changed their name to Windsor during, I think, World War I, World War II. something like that. I think World War One, one of the wars. They changed it because they didn't want. Oh, yeah, okay. They didn't want that with Hitler. They didn't want to, their association. But again, even with that, Prince Philip's sisters. I think one of them married a Nazi officer. So they do have that tie there, and so and a lot of actually reading what book I think it was the and what do you do that book about the royals. It's called And What Do You Do. Apparently, a lot of the royals they were Nazi sympathizers, and it wasn't just the one that abdicated, um, uh, Edward or whatever his name was. It wasn't just him. Many of the royals were Nazi sympathizers, and of course we saw, that picture of the Queen being taught the Nazi, the Nazi whatever they put their arm out. That's a Nazi sign or whatever they do there. So she was being taught the Nazi salute. I guess that's what it's called. So a lot of them were Nazi sympathizers. So there. So especially when people, it always grates on me when people talk about Harry in that Nazi shirt. Not that it was right, Harry, it was very wrong of him to wear it, but I understood why he would, because that's his family. That's the family history. These people, in public, they won't, they won't acknowledge it, or they won't do stuff like that, but behind closed doors, the fact that William and Kate and Harry thought that was funny and that was okay to do, it came from somewhere. It didn't just come out of, oh, it's just Harry putting on a Nazi shirt. No, that came from somewhere. And for them to think that was okay for them to do it, especially with kids, that stuff is what they pick up from home. So yeah, it just this whole idea of, oh, they don't know Occam's, like, please, the Windsors are German. Let's see. Karen says, darn, the jury got the case at noon. Now there's a verdict in the EG. Oh, really? This is the Trump case? So 3 p.m. Oh, goodness. The reading at 3. Well, now it's 3:08. So I guess so if anybody has the verdict, I'd love to know. That was quick. That was very quick. Let's see. Hopefully she won her case. Sylvia says, Petal, did you see all the wonderful article that Harry and Meghan's friend Brianna Gordon wrote in the Telegraph about after the coronation? This is the same lady that interviewed Harry in California about Spain. Yes, actually, yes. You know what? If you haven't read it, I will post it in our community page. And she talked about how brave Harry was to, what it would have been like for him to walk into that, den of vipers, really, and how brave and how courageous he was to do it, and and to be knowing that the eyes of the world is on him. And also she talked about just how strong his relationship with him and Meghan is, and that he came there with her full, even though she's not there, he came there with her full support. And he also talked about, people talk about Meghan, she's not there, she's plotting and planning, and she said no, the truth is a lot, a lot less glamorous than that, is that Meghan is literally just simply protecting her mental health. Gosh, we saw what they did to her when they were there for the Queen's funeral, and before that, and it was like, no, she's just there she's just protecting her mental health. And and she's just felt that, spending time with Archie, especially it's his birthday, and her daughter, was just a better thing for her to do, was to invest her time in her children. And so, yeah, it was a wonderful article. So I will definitely post that, and I'll also post the Rolling Stones article shading the the Coronation concert. Let's see. So yeah, if anybody has the huh. Karen, I think you're it today. I don't think Charles accomplished anything. He took advantage of vulnerable, cash poor people and use the same people's money to claim he helped them. No, that's him making a name for himself. Yes, 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 yes. Totally agreed. Totally, totally agreed. So yeah, I mean, they all did. They all took advantage of poor people needing help. And then, again, that's why that, Pledge Allegiance to me went over so badly, and they still haven't recovered for that because I think that opened a lot of people's eyes to be like, you know what? No, you're conning us, and now you want us to pledge allegiance. No, just no. So there. Um, Oh, Karen M says, major breaking. The jury in Trump's civil battery and defamation trial has found him liable for damages for sexually assaulting E. Jean Carroll and then defaming her by denying it. Yes, 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 yes. This is good. This is very good. And of course, those Trumpers will find reason now to, no, 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 they're lying. Let's vote him in for president. Of course. Sylvia says, jury found he abused E. Jean Carroll in the civil case, found him liable for defamation. Good, good, good. I hope he has to pay her tons and tons and tons of money. There you go. Trump guilty. Thank you, Vinny, of rape, reputational harm, and other counts. Must pay about what? $10? What do you mean? $10 total? I'm assuming you probably mean 10 million. I hope that's not the $10. Thank you, Vinny. Let's hope it's more than $10. Um, let's see. B10 Pal says, I marvel at all the stress Prince Harry's heart endures. The physical toll must be tremendous. And that's the part that it concerns me about Harry and Meghan, just all of this. And I think that is why they protect their privacy and their home life so much. And I think it's a sanctuary for them. And that's why they just protect them, because this takes a lot out of you. And plus he does so many other things, and he gives so much. Harry's not a person that he does anything halfway, or he's very or is or hard, I mean, half-hearted about anything. He gives all of himself. And this is the thing. For me, just the concern is how much of a toll this is taking on him. So, I just keep praying for them that, as Meghan supports him, that she gets supported as well, because, that's a concern, their safety and their mental health. So, yeah, it's it's a lot. But guys, you did read the J.R. Moringer's article? I'd love to hear what some of your thoughts on it. Karen M says she will be awarded $2 million. Good for her. I hope she gets more. Just raid his piggy bank. Definitely good for her. So congratulations to her for that. So yeah, Trump should pay nearly $3 million to Miss Carol, Thierry said. Yeah, so good. Now on to the other cases. Hopefully, the other cases with the the election fraud and all of that stuff, man. Ugh. Let's see. Chody says, I think you're also it. The royal family, English adjacent, adopted a more English pettified version named Windsor. The upper crust country accepted the family, put them up on a pedestal, and it has been the status quo. Exactly. So, and it's really wild that they are the royal family of I'm like, I need to go back and how did you manage that again? So unbelievable. But some things about the article, J.R. Moringer's article, other than his fight with Harry, that it's just really it's heartbreaking when you read some of the things that J.R. Moringer said. One of the things um, he said he decided to, when he took the assignment to write Harry's book, he says, Harry had no deadline. However, this is quoting from the New Yorker, Harry had no deadline. However, that enticed me. Many authors are in a hot hurry, and some ghosts or ghost writers are happy to oblige. They churn and burn, producing those 3 or 4 books in a year. I go painfully slow. I don't know any other way. Also, I just like the dude, Harry. I just like the dude. I called him dude right away. It made him chuckle. I found his story, and as he outlined it in broad strokes, relatable and infuriating. The way he had been treated by both strangers and intimates was grotesque. In retrospect, though, I think I selfishly welcomed the idea of being able to speak with someone, an expert about the never ending feeling of wishing you could call your mom. And one of the things that bonded him and JR so much, and one of the big reasons JR took the assignment to write his book, is because JR mom had just passed away. And he said, even though his mom just passed away, and Harry's mom passed away like 23 years, I guess, at that time, the feeling, the freshness of the pain was very similar. And so, yeah, talking to Harry, I'm sure really helped him to be able to, work through and heal. I don't know if you can heal, but at least cope with the losing of his mom. JR also talked about, their relationship, how great it was when they just started and it was in a bubble. It was COVID, so nobody knew they were writing it. And then somebody leaked it. And just the brutality of leaking it. As a ghostwriter, he has a clause in there to remain silent and not be, that people don't know who he is, and is a privacy clause. And whoever it is leaked his information. And so what happened? They leaked it. They leaked stuff about him. And who descended on his home? The Daily Mail, the Mail on Sunday. Said one time he was home, looked, he people were writing, they were writing articles and articles of tons of lies about him, including the fact there's some, I guess it was a British press claiming that it was George Clooney that introduced him to Harry. And he's like, I've never met George Clooney in my entire life. Yes, I think George Clooney worked on one of his books, but he never met George Clooney, and that was false. And there were all these other lies that were told about him, And then one day, he was vulnerable and all of that stuff. And, he taking his little kids to school. Paparazzi showed up, scanned everyone, taking pictures of him dropping his little kid off to school. And he's home, definitely their lives have been turned upside down because of this. He's there in, I guess, his study or whatever. He looks up and there's a woman outside his window of his house. And he's like, well, who are you? She's like, she's from the Mail on Sunday. And it's just like, he's like, I just pulled my shade down. It's unbelievable, the stuff that was done. So they basically, what they were throwing at Harry, they were also throwing at him, and it's, oh my goodness. He also talked about, just how horrifying it was. And calling Harry, he was trying to call a friend to try to explain to them, just having his life turned upside down and having the press attack him, and showing up at his house. And of course the friend can't understand. If you haven't lived that, you won't. He finally called Harry, and Harry, of course, was making sure he was fine, his family was fine. And it's like, what is she, trying to figure out what she looks like, so see that, see if there's any way he can help. And of course he's like, of course there's no way to help. but at least he felt better knowing. And Harry would basically, he's like, do you understand? He's trying to explain to Harry. It's like, Harry's like, welcome to my life. And for him was like, look, this was like a couple of days it was happening. He couldn't imagine what it was like for Harry his whole life, that this is his life, his whole life. He couldn't handle a few days of this when Harry has had to live with it for his whole life. And so it really brought them close. And he has so much respect for Harry in this article. You could see the bond that they created together. He said first, him and his whole family went and stayed with Harry and Meghan for, went and visited them. So they met them. And then two other times Harry, he went and stayed there at Harry and Meghan's home. They put him up in their guest house. He talked about, Meghan knowing how much he missed his family, would always bring him like food and sweets. And she was constantly bringing me food and sweets because she realized how much I missed my family. So when she and Archie are going on their walks, she would come by and visit. And it was just like, oh, it's so sweet, and I remember in Harry's book, he talked about thanking Archie and Lily for giving him the space to be able to spend time to take care of his book. And he also talked about, just all the obstacles they faced when, the book came out with the leak and all, and how grotesque it was, and how the British press just turned the book into just, they just went crazy on this book. And I'm going to allow you to read that part because I love how he described just the grotesqueness of the British press and what they did. And I'm like, he has the same passion against the press as Harry does. He also talked about TK Maxx, when TK Maxx trying to discredit Harry, when Harry in the book talked about the sales, going there for sales, and they claim like, oh, we don't do sales. And then he's like, yes. And then they did that. And then hundreds of people all over the world started posting receipts basically of TK Maxx lying and that they do sales. And then he even said, what did he say with Prince Charles? Let's see what he says. Oh yeah, he says, surely TK Maxx's efforts to discredit Harry's memoir was unrelated to the company's long-standing partnership with Prince Charles and his charitable trust. So I was very happy that he saw, and who was it that was posting all these receipts? The squad. We posted hundreds of TK Maxx lies and called out TK Maxx, for their lies. And so I was happy that he saw it, and then he had posted about memory, about, how the memory works. And even when you read the book, Spare, Harry talks about how his memory works. There are some things he would remember and some things he won't remember. There are gaps in his memory. And he was very honest about the things that he wasn't sure about, that he thinks is there. And then so when JR posted something about memory and how his memory worked, the press seized on that, claiming that all of the book is a lie. And so all of this is in there. So again, I'm going to post, if you have not read it, the link is already in the show notes. So I'm sorry, in our community page. So definitely read it. I'll also post it in the show notes so you can read it there as well. So it is really, and my favorite part was at the end when he talked about being when someone had thrown the book party for Harry, to celebrate the book, and he saw Harry and he wasn't sure, he was feeling fragile because of all the press abuse, and so he wasn't sure how Harry was doing, and he came in and then realized like Harry was happy and he was grinning and smiling and hugged them, and people toasted Harry, and Harry talked about, how happy he was. I mean, one, with the numbers, the amount of books sold, the fact that it was a Guinness record, but mostly he was happy because he finally felt free. He finally felt free. And so JR was like, if you had told me that when we were writing, we would have argued over that word, because for JR, he's feeling like, finally Harry felt heard. Like people hear him. He was very happy that Harry was so happy that people are finally reading it, that they can finally for themselves hear his words and hear his story from him. So he was so happy. And he said, when Harry his voice broke when he said he felt free, and Harry was basically, there was tears in his eyes, and JR was saying there was also tears in his eyes. And so at the end, he hugged Harry, and they thanked Meghan because Meghan had sent toys to their kids. And so, of course, Francis picked that up too, how kind Meghan was to JR. And so it was just really, again, read the article. It also taught, basically his life as a ghostwriter, writing for Andrea Agassi's book, and the Tender Bar, which is his book. And so the whole, it's long, but it's really, really good. And you see his mindset and what a fantastic writer he is. So no wonder Andrea Agassi chose him, and no wonder Harry chose him. So again, please read it. So yeah, let's see. Tell me if you got some more stuff out of it. I'd love to hear it. Let's see. Saima Khan. Hi, Saima. Saima said, I visited my friend last week to Virginia. And I was shocked to find out that she didn't like Meghan, and she was speaking tabloid language. It took me 2 days to change her mind. Well, good, Saima. Good for you. But again, we sometimes, and I think our fault is that we underestimate the tabloids. We underestimate how powerful they are at grooming. And I talk about that all the time because it is powerful when you realize how good the British are at grooming people. And they do the same thing over and over again. They'll repeat the same thing. You see it with Trump. Trump does the same thing. That's why, the MAGA group is the same narrative. They don't even know why they believe what they believe. They will spout the same things he says because it's being repeated to them over and over and over again. The same thing with Meghan. They will say the same things. You will hear people spouting, oh, Meghan did, she told 16 lies in Oprah Winfrey interview. And if you press them, they couldn't name you one. And they can't, and if they even mention one they think is a lie, they have no evidence to back it up. You'll hear them say, oh, but it's her behavior. Where did they get that? The tabloids. Because when you ask, what behavior are you talking about? They can't tell you. And that is the power of grooming, is that you tell that to them over and over. You repeat the lie over and over and over. They then will start accepting it as truth. Because surely if you're lying, you won't repeat the same thing. So of course, if you're saying it over and over, then it must be true. And that's why you get stuff like this. We underestimate so much the power of those tabloid headlines. People don't read the articles. And a lot of times in the article, they will find a sentence way down at the bottom that actually tells the truth. But because they've inhaled all of that lie before, the truth, that little sentence would go right over them, or they just go right by it. So the power of grooming is an awesome thing to behold. It is destructive beyond belief. And the British have mastered it. The royal family and the British press have mastered grooming. That's why you have so many people, especially in the UK and in the US, believing what they say, that Meghan is this horrible person. And then when you see people who've actually met her that would refute that, they wouldn't believe it. They can't believe it. No, she has to be a bad person. No, because the tabloids, no. For years, we've been told she was this bad person. She was this bully. She's a narcissist. Pick an adjective. The power of grooming is what they do. And another thing is the power of monstering a person. They have mastered that as well. Prince Harry served 2 tours in Afghanistan, serving his country for 10 years, and the vitriol against this man for no reason other than protecting his family. Why? Because they are themselves victim of grooming, and they've bought into the monstering because they've been groomed to believe he's a bad person. They've been groomed to believe that Spare was destroying his family when it's a lie. They've been groomed to read the tabloids instead of reading the actual article. Because the headline, and a lot of times I don't even read the article, it's just a headline. But they've been groomed to accept that. It's the same grooming that no matter the fact that many of the people I'm sure who were out there in that parades on over the weekend for the Coronation were there. Many of them are poor. Many of them, I'm sure, are poor, can't feed their family, but they were there with their flags because they've been groomed to believe that is what they're worth, that's what they have to do, because they have to support this monarchy of people who are billionaires while they can't feed their family. They've been groomed to believe that that's their lot in life. Grooming is powerful. So I'm not shocked. That was long-winded, but so I'm not shocked that your friend in Virginia hated Meghan. She and many others in the UK, in the US. I'm not shocked at all, but good for you that you were able to turn her mind. And that's the fact. The fact that you were able to change her mind says, what she was believing was tabloid lies. Because a lot of the majority of them, all of them really, they can't back up the lies. And the amount of times that they've been proven wrong, the things that they believe have been proven wrong, and they still are on that path. They're still looking for no, Samantha is going to win her case, or Samantha is going to tell us the truth, or there's a book about Meghan that's bashes her. Oh, that's going to, and it's just like, they wouldn't let go because they've been groomed to believe she's a bad person. Unbelievable. Let's see. Going on, who else is chatting there? Rootsy says, true, Salma, I have convinced so many of my friends, and I normally share some targeted podcasts which help answer questions. Oh, cool. That's great, Rootsy. That is awesome. Yeah. Help them to see the light. B10 Paul says, Black Queen, I bought spare and gave as gifts to friends who were tabloid followers. They mostly are surprised at the abuse and seem to be more empathetic towards the Sussexes. That is so great, B10 Paul. Because people have been groomed to believe the lies. I mean, some people are still having but no, Meghan destroyed the relationship between William and Harry. And there's Harry in spare saying, I didn't have a relationship with my brother. Not since we were little kids. We didn't have a relationship. So there was if you notice, the tabloids don't, they still try to kind of go there, but they don't go there with the, with the passion that they have about the relationship between Harry and William. Because again, Spare was like, no, we're not friends. We weren't close. Angela says they used propaganda that was used as a war on soldiers. They picked on the wrong soldier, Prince Harry. They sure did pick on the wrong soldier. They sure did pick on the wrong soldier. And, bad for them, they picked on one that loves a fight. Harry loves to fight. And so they picked on one who was just like, okay, you want to fight? I'm ready. I am ready to fight. Talking about William and Harry, the Rolling Stones. I'm gonna put a link to the Rolling Stones article. But it was very shady about the concert and just the ridiculousness of the concert. But one of the things it says in the Rolling Stones shading Prince William, it says Sunday Coronation concert did feature some British people. Of course, Prince William took time out from the smear campaign against his brother and sister-in-law to do a heartfelt speech in support of his father, which was good for him, I suppose. Talk about show throwing it on William. And I love it. The Rolling Stones know exactly what is happening. They're like, yeah, Prince William took time out from the smear campaign against his brother and his sister-in-law. Yes, the Rolling Stones know that William has been the one behind that smear campaign against at least one of them behind that smear campaign against Harry and Meghan, And it also, it also throws shade at Camilla. This is what I said about Camilla at the ConAnation concert. After this, we got the heaviest musical hitters in the evening. Lionel Richie had even the stony-faced royals, minus Prince Andrew, who must have been enjoying a sweat-free evening elsewhere, on their feet dancing. Even Queen Camilla, who seemed bored and was checking her watch every time the camera panned to her, looked like she briefly enjoyed all night long. I mean, somebody said, oh, she was not checking a watch. Apparently, they were giving bracelets that lit up or something in the night. I don't know. She did look like she was checking a watch in the picture I saw. And so apparently, according to the Rolling Stones, that's what she was doing. She seemed bored, but at least she was up for Lionel Richie's all night long. The funny thing about that whole thing was, Prince William, they were on Harry about Harry really going after Camilla in spare and blaming her for a lot of leaking and stuff against him and William and Kate. It's that, we were led to believe about how strong William's relationship is with his father and all that, and, it's that horrible Harry that doesn't really welcome Camilla or any, at least is bashing or whatever, that William accepts what, he knows he accepts what's gonna happen, his father and hers, she's gonna be queen, that William is so accepting of it all. Only for William to go up there and could not even form his words. He could not even form his mouth to even mention Camilla's name. And I mean, could be me, and and maybe I didn't hear the entire of William's speech. But as far as I know, William never mentioned Camilla. Not once. And, and I thought to myself, I put myself in Camilla's shoes, for a second, as if I was a person and I've been in somebody's life, and she's been in William and Harry's life longer than their own mother have been in their lives. And she's been their stepmother for all these years. They are now 40 and 38, whatever William and Harry are. And one of them completely went after her for what she's done. And the other, in front of the world. The world is watching. At least they think the world is watching. That's what apparently all these countries are watching. The day that you are crowned queen, your stepson gets up there in front of the world and could not even form his mouth to even say your name. How would that make me feel? What kind of a relationship would I have had to have with that guy, with those kids? Well, not kids anymore, adults now. For them to not even be able to, not even to say, well, good luck or something. Something. To not say her name. And which even leads me to this, yes, William is up there saying all these things but William had to, right? He had to say those things about his father and supporting his father, whatever. I don't buy into this whole William and Charles relationship at all. I do not believe it is factual. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. Just as they lied about his relationship with Harry, I believe they are lying about his relationship with Charles. And so for those people attacking Harry about, calling out Camilla, well, it doesn't look like William have any better relationship with her either. Because again, in front of the world would have been when William would have been like, okay, at least good luck, Camilla. Even if he doesn't want to say anything lovely, a good luck, or, Queen Camilla, nothing. He couldn't even form his mouth to say her name. And for me, if I am a stepmother of children, I would really have to reassess what kind of impact would I have had to have on kids for them to be in that situation in front of the world and not be able to even say my name. That speaks volumes to me. And notice nobody in the press talking about it. No one wants to bring up the fact that William, in front of the world, could not even mother Camilla's name. The entire, I mean, at least the pictures that I saw of the, coronation, whatever, everybody looked depressed. Camilla, I don't know, maybe she smiled when she was taking pictures, whatever. None of them looked happy. And so it's one of those things where, you reach your goal after all of these years and you get there and find that the ladder was leaning against the wrong building. It's one of those. That's what it looked like to me. So very interesting. Oh, B10 Pal, thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate. Thank you. So Karen M says Christopher Boozy won his court case versus Goodman versus Boozy defamation. Awesome, Christopher Boozy. Yes. So good to hear that. Now I am looking forward to that, again, that judge from Florida. Until that is over and I hear Megan win, I trust nobody in Florida about anything. So you know how I feel about them. Let's see. Sylvia says, Piers Morgan come all the way to the US and sit on Fox and talk about Megan in such a terrible way. Well, yeah, Fox is right wing. Yes. Fox is Rupert Murdoch, Piers Morgan is Rupert Murdoch. Yes. Anything Rupert Murdoch, don't be shocked. That's what they do. So his own show is not doing great. So, of course, he's going to go on Fox to try to get some of Fox News audience to come on his show. So, yeah, don't be surprised at anything on Fox. Again, that's Rupert Murdoch. Andrea Allen says, I went to Bridgetown and bought Spare and the Bench. I am from, of course I know you from Barbados, Andrea. Of course, Bridgetown. I've been to Bridgetown. When I was a kid, actually, I went there a couple of times. And one time I went camping and I stayed at Charles Broom School in St. Michael's. I love Barbados. Absolutely love Barbados. So, the last time I went there, oh my gosh, we flew through a storm and I think that's where I got my fear of flying. Because we flew through and I swear I thought we were going to die. It felt like the plane would touch a mountain or something. It was rocking so much. I think that's where I developed that horrible fear of flying. But yes, I was a little kid when that happened. It was just like, ever since, I hate flying. But I love Barbados. Oh, Nash, I'm so happy that, Trish Nelly, you're here. Hi. How are you feeling? I'm so happy that you're here. Congratulations, Nash. You are a 2 cent screw. Thank you for your support for 7 months. I'm telling you, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Your support helped pay for all, platform and all of this stuff. And I appreciate every bit of it. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you. Hey, Patricia. I'm happy you're catching us live. I'm sorry, I'm gonna run in a second because I have to run off to a work project. So in a bit. So y'all, please pray for my computer. Please pray that when I open it, my keyboard works. I'm just praying for a miracle because I really don't have time, because if I take it in, they're gonna keep it for like a week. And then it's going to cost a lot. And it's just like, I'm just praying for a miracle. So please pray for a miracle that when I turn it on, it will all work perfectly. So thank you. Hi, Nash B. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you. I appreciate. Thank y'all. B10 Boss says, girlfriend, sweet B Church Nelly. She thanks her love and hugs back to Church Nelly. So sweet. Coco Ambrose says, wicked stepmother. As much as I don't care for William, I'm glad he didn't mention the wicked stepmother. Yeah, and again, for those who are attacking Harry for speaking the truth about what Camilla and what she's done, nobody is speaking the truth that William could not form his mouth to say a word about her. Actually, he didn't, that he didn't say. But again, you have to wonder, she's been in his life longer than his own mother, yet he could not say even a good luck to her. So very, very, very telling what she has done. And it also proves that what Harry said was true, so yeah, can't refute it. Sylvia says, I can remember when we first started to follow Sussex podcast, there was an old tweet we saw from an RR that says Harry needed to hurry and find a girl or they would need to go after William and Kate. Oh, really? Wow. That is interesting. Wow. Yep. Because, I mean, they were going after William and Kate before Meghan. I mean, especially Kate. I think actually before she got married. So I guess that was a few years earlier. So yeah, they need somebody to throw under a bus. They need somebody to attack to make money off of. So thank you, Lord. Our girl is out of that mess. So yes. Whitland says, I died when I saw photos of Harry in his Dior suit holding his phone and clothes hanger. I know, that was so funny. In his hand, I fell laughing. The photo was priceless. It is. I love that as well. I absolutely love that Harry running off with his clothes hanger. It's just so priceless. I absolutely love it. So, yes. And even, again, Crazy Angela has gotten to the point where she's like, I guess we've lost Harry. He's not coming back. You think, Angela? You think? But again, with their cycle of grief, it'll go back. Then to get to a place, they have a breakthrough, and then they slide right back. So I had to enjoy that breakthrough in that moment because I know Angela is gonna slide right back. So we'll see. They're never getting over this because again, Harry doesn't care and they need him to care. They need him to be punished. They need him to be broken and he is not and they can't deal with it. So there you go. I'm telling you, I can't wait to hear, and I hope they do have a contract or do have a partnership with Dior. I hope they do. I want this brand partnership because they're amazing and I love how Dior is so happy to dress them and they look so good in Dior. I mean, why shouldn't they? I mean, guys, they could make millions of dollars on Dior, and I'm like, you go for it. So, thank you, guys. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you, Church Nelly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm praying. When I open my computer later, when I come back from my project, that it would be working because it's 5 million? Drew, 5 million by the G. Good. I say go for 10 million, EJ Carroll, because then the world would realize that Trump really don't have no money. He's like broke. Other than the money he's been scamming off those crazy MAGA people who's been giving, like, I don't even know how you, again, people are crazy in this country. So anyways, Patricia says karma is coming to the orange. It's about time. It is about time. Simon is sending you some good get well soon, Church Nelly. There you go, some get well. And Church Nelly, even today I saw on Twitter Nacho actually retweeted the J.R. Moringer Harry's ghostwriter story. So it's like, Church Nelly would be happy to see this if you were on Twitter. So I am telling you, we saw from Nacho, he was retweeting that article. So there. Anyway, my friends, my awesome squatty friends, I have to jet off because I have to be somewhere in about an hour and a half. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Please pray for my computer. If it's still not fixed, well, tomorrow we'll do this again. We'll just be here with no receipts and we'll just chat. So, which is fine, which is totally fine. So yeah, anyways, I love you guys. Thank you to our awesome moderators, Lydia Trishnelli, Cookies and Cream, Karen M. Thank you guys so much for protecting our chat and our peace. And thank you to our wonderful 2 Cents crew who support the chat. Some of you saw here today who have month anniversaries. Thank you for all the months that you've been supporting the channels. Again, I couldn't do what I'm doing without your support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate. And thank you to our Gold Star supporters who you see donating in the chat or get super stickers or super thanks or just straight donations. Thank you guys so very much. And I appreciate every single one of you. Again, if you are here new and you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Help us to build the channel. Click the notification bell at the bottom of this video, and so you know when I drop a video. Please like the video and share the video. Help us grow the channel. It's growing slowly. I'm cool with slow. That's fine. But thank you so much for all of you who have. So, anyways, I am off to my job, and I will see you all next time. I love you all. Bye. Have a fantastic day. See you.